These trees came out of Pennsylvania in the mountains of PA. And you can see that they have snow on them, so they're very, very fresh. They're cut about mid-November. And today we're going to talk about caring for live Christmas trees after they're cut and when they're in your house.
Well, we're going to take it up and we're going to give it a fresh cut so that you can get a good picture of exactly what you have to do to try to keep your tree as fresh as possible all during the Christmas season. So when we cut it out in the field, we're going to trim it up on the bottom so that you have a nice trunk so that there's enough room to put presents under. So we'll have that nice and clean for you. And then we're going to drag it up a little bit more. We're going to give it a fresh cut and then stick it in the stand. One of the things that you want to remember with a fresh cut tree is that it's going to take a lot of water early on. You may have to water it 2 times during the day. But over time that's going to lessen a little bit and you're not going to put as much water in. Eventually every tree is going to stop taking up water, and that's when you start to know that it's probably time to take the tree out, especially when you get to the point where it's after Christmas. So you want to make sure you give it a fresh cut, and all you need to do is take about 1 inch off the bottom and then make sure that you get it into the stand within an hour and you're keeping water in that stand. And if you don't get it in water within an hour, then that bottom's going to start to sap over and it's not going to be able to take water up into the tree. So this is why it becomes really important that once you give it a fresh cut, you got to get it in the water within an hour. So my brother Doug's going to throw this tree in the stand. We'll tighten it down and then we'll fill it up with water. And this is a good stand to have because it's got a good reservoir for water. And it's really easy to use. Right, so we've got the tree in the stand, it's tightened down, we're ready to put the water in. And you can see we have a 5-gallon bucket here. So we're just going to pour some water in. Obviously in the house it wouldn't be that sloppy, and as long as you have the tree positioned where you want it to, you can fill it right up to the top. You don't want to overfill it, otherwise you'll get it all over the carpet or the hardwood floors. But that tree's going to start taking water right away, and you're just going to want to make sure that it's filled up. Again, it's so important to understand that you got to keep that tree watered and make sure that you're checking it a couple of times a day. You're going to also want to keep it away from a heat source, keep the room a little bit cooler, and that's going to keep your tree a little bit fresher throughout the season. Hey, we're back. We're going to bale up a tree for you just so you see what it looks like. And again, like I said earlier, you're going to want to leave it baled, taking it into the house. It makes it a lot easier going through the house and putting it in the stand. Now it's all set and ready to be loaded on the truck. Usually the trees are going to be baled up, and we always recommend that people leave the tree baled up when they're taking it into the house. It's a lot easier to move it through the house. It's a lot easier to put it in the stand.
To review, you just want to make sure you get a fresh tree, and these trees are fresh. They had snow on them. Put a fresh cut on, take 1 inch off, then put it in the stand and make sure you keep it watered. The way we remember to water is to mark a calendar. Once a day you water the tree. Finally, just use regular water and you'll be all set.